Hey guys, I want to talk to you briefly to introduce the lesson to you. Sorry, I was trying to figure out where you could see me. We're going to go over briefly Greek and Latin root words and how they help determine the meaning of words. So you guys are going to have an activity this week regarding this. So I wanted to be able to introduce it and help you by teaching it a little bit in case some of you still struggle with root words, prefixes, and suffixes. So we know that words are broken into part, and that helps us figure out their meaning. So they're typically broken into three different parts. There you have the root word, or the basis of the foundation, the main word that means something. They have a prefix that can come before that root word, and they have a suffix that can come after that root word. Prefixes and suffixes are known as affixes, and they're anything that is added to a root word to help change the meaning a little bit. Examples of prefixes. So prefixes come at the beginning of words, like I said. So examples of that is the word undo. So the UN in front of it is a prefix. Okay? To do something means to do something. To undo something changes the word. Now it means to reverse, to undo what you did. Refill is another word. The RE in front of it means to do again. So you filled something, now you need to refill it, which means fill it again. So it changes our root word of fill just a little bit by adding something in the beginning. So that is a prefix. A suffix, as I mentioned, is added at the end of a root word. So here are some examples. Joyful, FUL, added to the end means full of. So joy, happiness, to be full of is joyful. Okay. Then you have sadly. LY at the end typically changes it into an adverb, which means a way that something is behaving. Kindness, the NESS at the end is your suffix. Changes the word from kind to kindness, which is something that you're demonstrating or showing. Examples of prefixes and their meanings. You're going to see this on your PDF of this slideshow a little bit better than you can see it on my board. But I just wanted to be able to let you guys know. There's some examples in here. I just gave you 2 examples. There's a few more examples on this list for you to be able to look at. Examples of suffixes I created for you on your PDF as well for the notes. And you'll be able to go through and see a couple more examples of suffixes added at the end and how it changes your root word. So what is a root word? Just like I've been saying, a root is a set of letters that has a meaning. So it's a word that means something. So it's the most basic form of your word, such as fill or like or whatever. These can be at the beginning of a word or at full word or at the end or in the middle. The root letters can be anywhere in this big old word, as you're going to see what I'm talking about next. Example, playful. Your root word is what's underlined here. That's play. The word is play. Full, because it comes at the end, ends up being your suffix. You have disliked. Your root word is like. Okay? And it's in the middle. This word has a prefix of dis and a suffix of ed at the end. Okay? Then you have unloving. Love is your root word. On is your prefix. ing is at the end. Read. Read is your root word. Comes at the end of that word. And friendship. Friend is your root word. Ship comes at the end of that one to help change it up a little bit. Which of the following here is going to show a root word with an affix? Remember, affix is simply a prefix or a suffix. So is it A, bicycle, or is it B, hippopotamus? Which one of these words has a prefix or a suffix? It should be bicycle. You have the word cycle in there, and you have bi at the beginning of it, which means two. Okay? Hippopotamus is a word all entirely on its own. It does not have the prefix and suffix at the end that changes the word any. Why is it important to know Greek and Latin prefixes and suffixes and root words. Simply because as you're working through things and as you read things, words that you don't understand, it helps you figure that word out. It helps you break it down. So if you know a word that's inside a bigger word, it can kind of help you break it down a little bit. You know what love means, but if you see unlovable, then you have to know that, oh, un means to undo or to not have. So you're unable, right, to love type thing. So it helps you just break down big words that you may not be familiar with by simply breaking it into parts that you are familiar with. Makes sense, hopefully. So it'll help you out with your context clues and things like that. This is helpful to keep in mind as you're going to have an activity in your next couple assignments. And if you need to refer back to these notes about prefix and suffix, please do. But thank you.